Today we are doing a quick get ready with me for a coffee date. You know, about 3 years ago, I ended a long-term relationship, and that took so much out of me that for a very long time, I had absolutely zero interest in dating. I was and still am very, very content on my own with my best friend, Bosley. Having said that, when I first moved here, I did have a romance for a few months, and although that transitioned into a very good friendship, it did show me that I can have those feelings again, and I did really enjoy having a man in my life again. However, being new to rural upstate New York definitely presents some challenges in terms of meeting single men. So, at age 64, I am cautiously dipping my toes into internet dating for the first time in well over 20 years. And I do mean very cautiously. I signed up with a service where only the man that I reach out to first can view my profile. So I feel like I have a little bit of control. Now, I'm not spending a lot of time or energy on this. In the last 2 months, I've probably chatted with 4 or 5 men. I've met 2 in person, nice men, but so far no one I'm really interested in seeing again. Anyway, I have a coffee date this afternoon, so I thought I would show you my go-to casual coffee date makeup using my tried and true comfort makeup. Nothing fancy. Everything will be listed and linked in the description box below, as usual. Anyway, if this sounds fun to you, throw this video a thumbs up, and please share your thoughts, experiences, and tips on romance, dating, and relationships as we are growing older. I pulled you in just a little closer, so hopefully you can see the makeup as I apply it. I've already done my skincare and applied my SPF about an hour ago, so everything is nicely set down. I also already tight lined my upper lash line because I have a really difficult time tight lining on camera using, of course, my L'Oreal Infallible in brown denim. I do have an entire video on tight lining if you would like to see exactly how I tight line. Anyway, I always start my makeup the same way with my new favorite product of 2024, and it is DRMTLGY's Luminous Eye Corrector SPF 41. This hydrates, it protects, it has peptides, and it has a peachy tint that offers light coverage and gently neutralizes and cancels out the under eye circles. I love this. I have one in my purse, I have one in my vanity. I use it every single day, whether I'm wearing makeup or not. It looks so natural and it never creases. You only need the smallest amount, and I do apply this with my fingers. I apply it more like an eye cream than I do a corrector or concealer. Very, very moisturizing. Very, very natural. And there is the side with the corrector, without. Let me get it on this side. Now this does come in 4 shades: fair, medium, tan, and deep. I have it in the shade medium, which is a little surprising because I do consider myself to have a light skin tone. Now, fair is very, very pale. So fair would only be for the fairest of complexions. I think if you have a complexion anywhere from light to medium, the shade medium would work really well for you. Anyway, moving on to the rest of the complexion, I am using my Lisa Eldridge, what is this? Seamless Skin Enhancing Tint. I have this in the shade T6. This is such a lightweight, it has a light coverage with a natural skin-like finish. You only need, I use about 5 or 6 drops. It has a fairly runny consistency. Like I said, very light coverage. Today, I do want to build up the coverage just a little bit and the glow. So I am going to add 1 drop of my Ritual Defy Weightless 3-drop Serum Foundation. Now, 3 drops of this will give your entire face a solid medium coverage. But by adding just 1 drop of the Ritual Defy to the Lisa Eldridge, I can boost the coverage just enough, just a little bit. I'm gonna mix I apply them with my fingers. Apply and blend with my fingers. Oh, I should have done one side at a time so you could see the coverage. Oh my gosh, it feels so silky and lightweight, blending into the skin. Did you see how quickly and easily that blended into my skin? Now, this does set down fairly quickly. This is a very long-lasting combination, and I really don't feel the need to powder it. Moving on to blush. Another comfort product is my Merit Beauty Blush Balm, but today I am using a shade I haven't talked about very often, and it is the shade Foxy, which is a very sort of slightly warm neutral. It's almost like a bronzer blush combination, so I am going to use it sort of as a bronzer blush combination. Picking up a little bit with my brush, and I just want to warm up my face and get a little bit of a sun-kissed glow. Now, I'm not very good at chatty get-readies with me because I so much focus on the makeup, but I do want to talk a little bit about sort of my strategy for online dating. You know, of course, I have all the safety precautions, no last names, meet in a neutral territory, you know, make sure somebody knows where I'm at. So I'm not really concerned about the safety, and it's also, we're meeting during the day for a very limited period of time, like a 1-hour meeting. I don't even really want to call these dates. They are more like meetings. And I'm trying to keep my expectations low, keep an open mind. You know, if nothing else, it's a way to meet people, learn about different towns, different things to do. So for instance, a couple of weeks ago, I met this man in a very cute small town, and we browsed some art galleries, which I probably wouldn't have discovered on my own. So once again, I'm keeping all the safety in mind, keeping an open mind, and just trying to have a little bit of fun with it. And so for the sun-kissed glow, I'm just taking it over my nose, on my forehead, and a little bit on my neck. Very subtle, but very, very pretty. I hope it's showing up on camera. It's earlier in the day than I usually film, and the light is a little bit different. Actually, the intro I filmed yesterday, and I filmed this video yesterday, but my microphone cut out. I've been having so many tough technical difficulties. I wound up having to get a new computer and a new printer this week. And then when I filmed yesterday, my microphone cut out. I will be lucky if I can actually get this video posted at all. Okay, so there is Merit Beauty Fox, sort of my bronzer. But I do want to amp up, you know, it's summer and I like a little brightness. I am trying to keep the makeup, you know, my makeup that I'm comfortable in, but that's polished and not overly, you know, made up. One of my favorite summertime blushes is Milani Luminoso. Oh my gosh. This is such a gorgeous peachy pink blush for summer with just a hint of glow. So I'm going to pick up a little bit with my blush brush and just add a little pop of color. If you find you have over applied your blush, now I already said I really don't need to powder this skin tint combination, but maybe I'll buff my blush in a little bit with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Finishing Powder in the shade Diffused Light. Big fluffy brush, and just sort of make sure that blush is nicely blended in. So there is Complexion. Moving on to eyes, and I do want to have a little bit of shimmer on my eyes, and so I am using one of my all-time most used favorite eyeshadow palettes, Persona Identity palette. You can see how well used and well loved this palette is. I have done this eye look a million times, so it's sort of my comfort eye look. I'm just going to take this matte brown called Charming, a little bit of this bronze shimmer called Goddess, and a little bit of this taupe shimmer. You can see, oh my gosh, I think I need to buy a new one pretty soon. This one is called Seductive. So there is matte, bronze, Goddess, and Seductive. I had to use my little finger because it's the only one that will pick up any of those shades. So here is the matte. Here is the taupe, which I'll use on the inner half of my lid, and here is the bronze, which I will use on the outer half of my lid. Like I said, I have done this look a million times before. I'm just picking up my Rephr 15 fantastic fluffy crease brush, and actually I do want to lighten this shade up a little bit, so I'm going to pick up a little bit of that cream color. This is one of the best formulas out there. There is no fallout. They blend like a dream. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend it. I definitely need to purchase a new one pretty soon. And I'm just going to work that into my crease and a little bit on the outer corner. Whoops. Pick up a little more cream there to lighten it up. Now, I'm not necessarily going for a super natural look. I want a little bit of polish, a little bit of shimmer. And this is a look that I really love in the summer with those bronze tones. And I'm just applying it above my crease. A little bit of shape, a little bit of definition. And yeah, and once again, if you go in a little too heavy with your transition shade, you can take a powder or a cream colored eyeshadow and use that to either tone down the shade, or I'm just going to use it to sort of blend the edges for a nicely diffused look. There is the transition shade. Hopefully I can squeeze out a little more of this Seductive along the edge there on my flat shader brush, and I am going to apply this on the inner half of the mobile lid just for a little bit of brightness and a very, very soft sheen. This is not sparkly or glittery. It's very, very smooth on mature eyes, and I absolutely love it. I wish I could find a single that I loved as much as this, so I didn't have to purchase a whole new palette. So there is Seductive, and I am going to, whoops, and I am going to clean my brush off with my Sigma Switch. Oh my gosh, I use this every single day. It takes the pigment out of your brushes so that you can go from one color to the other. And I am going to just pick up a little bit of this bronze Goddess, which is a very soft shimmer. Oh my gosh, I love this shade. And with this, I'm just putting it on the outer half of the lid. This doesn't have quite as much sheen as the taupe shade, but it still gives just a really nice little soft satin look. Cleaning off my brush again, and now I'm going to take a clean brush and sort of pat where those two shades meet so it's diffused into each other, And then take, once again, my fluffy blending brush, clean it off so there's nothing on there, and just blend the edges for a nice, soft, I don't know, I feel like this is a really pretty eye look in the summer with that bronze shade. Off camera, I finished up my brows with Merit Beauty 1980 Brow Gel in the shade Medium. Merit Beauty, I think this is the Clean Lash Mascara. It is a tubing mascara. I absolutely love it. It volumizes and thickens, and it never, ever flakes or smudges. And of course, my Sephora Collection Shimmer Taupe on my lower lash line. However, as I was doing that, I realized I didn't apply any concealer. Now, very often when I'm using the Dermatology, I will just put a little foundation over it, and I may not need concealer, but I feel like I do need a touch of additional correction today. And because that Dermatology has such light coverage, I feel like I need a little bit of help in that dark blue inner corner. So I'm going to go in with my Pixie Peach Corrector with my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, just on that inner corner only. Now this is much more opaque with more coverage than the Dermatology, but it's also a much drier formula. So I don't really like using it under my eyes, but it is perfect for that very deep, very dark inner corner. And just touch it a little bit. And I am going to use just a very, very small amount of one of my all-time favorite concealers, Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear Long Wear Concealer. Just the tiniest amount. And I am going to use my new favorite concealer brush. This is by Sigma. It is the Sigma, I think it's Soft Sculpt. I'll put the information in the description box below. It is slanted, it's very dense, but very, very soft. And I feel like it's sort of like the A506 and my Real Techniques brush had a baby. It's domed like the Real Techniques, but it has flat and angled like the Angie Hot and Flashy. I love this brush. So soft. Yeah, it's a really, really, really good brush. Sigma also has a foundation brush that I am very much enjoying, but I did not need it today because I always apply these tints with my fingers. And by putting a little concealer on that corner there, I am able to clean up any eyeshadow that may have gone down just a little further than I had intended. As far as lips, you know how much I love a bright lipstick, especially in the summer, but for a casual coffee date, I don't want to get too crazy. So I am going to keep my lips a little bit on the softer, maybe more neutral side. I'm going to line them with my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Medium. This just gives the lipstick a little bit more longevity, and you can see I'm sort of applying it on its side. I'm filling in just a little bit because I really don't want like a lip liner look, but it does give my lips just a little more definition. And I'm going in with my Bare Minerals. This is in the shade Memory. This is just such a pretty, a very, you know, soft, sort of warm pink shade. Nothing too crazy. And then I almost always top my lipstick off with my City Lips lip gloss, and today I'm going to use San Diego. It just has a very sheer peachy tint which sort of warms up the lips a little bit. And also tones down the lipstick just a tad. And I love the shine it gives. Now, the City Lips is a little on the pricey side. However, they are having a buy one, get one free starting on Monday, July 29th. I'm not sure how long it goes for, but it is so worth picking up 2 of these because you get 2 for the price of 1. Details in the description box below. Anyway, here is the finished look. I think I need to maybe smooth out my hair a little bit, but this is my tried and true go-to comfort makeup that I know I can apply easily, that I feel confident in, and I would love to hear what your go-to tried and true comfort makeup is. Anyway, wish me luck. I will put a little follow-up in the description box below in terms of how the meeting went. And with that, have yourself a great day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.